Hello, my name is Antonio Melendez, and I'm going to show you my web page. Okay, let me share my screen. And this right here is my web page. Let me put this over here, and I'm going to refresh the page. This little message that comes up is to keep track of the number of visits to the page. And this is my page. It's based on the Star Wars universe. I use the Star Wars API to get all the information for this page. And this is the untold story of the Sith. So in the Star Wars universe, the Sith are the antagonists of the story. They're the villains, the bad guys. And I was always intrigued by their story. You can see in the top right corner, there's an event listener, a little button here that changes the page from the bright mode to the dark mode. Okay. I think this is always good to include in pages because it can help someone who looks at screens for a long time and sometimes their eyes get tired. And so it's good for them to have this option here. Star Wars, the what if, a new and original story every single time. So this starts like a typical Star Wars movie. You can see a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and a template here. Okay. You can also see that I used animation here for the what if, a new and original story every single time. I also use colors that are very aggressive. However, these colors go well with the Star Wars universe, and they are aggressive because the Sith are really aggressive warriors. So I wanted to display a little of their personality. You can also see that my page is pretty simplistic. I like simple things, okay? I don't like too much detail. Now, the cool thing is you can see here that there are remakes coming soon. Every single time you click on this button, and you can also see the CSS going on here, there's transformation and transition here. If you click on it, it's going to take a second, but there's going to be a new story every single time you click on the button, okay? And this story is a new and original story based on the sea, okay? And so every time you click on the button, you're going to get a new story. Now for this, I used lots of different characters, planets, droids, starships, movies. You know that the Star Wars API has a lot of good data and information, and so I used arrays and loops, and I go through the whole JSON array to come up with this information. Okay. If you go down a little bit, you're going to see the weather information. Okay. And the weather information is really good. I don't know why this isn't here. Let me refresh the page. Okay, here it is. Sorry. So the weather information also has a little bit of animation. And for this part, I use the weather API. The weather API is another really good API. And I think it's really cool because it shows the weather of, well, first it tells you the town and graphic description of the weather, a description of the weather, the temperature, and the number of visits. I always like to put this on my pages because it's always nice to keep track of how many times you have seen the page. Okay, sometimes I have the pages that I like ESPN, and I visit these pages a lot. So it's always good to know how many times you have visited the page. Okay, you can see in the bottom that my footer is very similar to my header, which is something that always should be on pages. You can see that the year is dynamically displayed here on the footer. You can see the name of the project, my name, the class, and this is really cool. The last time the page was modified. So good programmers are always improving their pages, and they want to, it's always good to know for them and for the users, it's always good to know when the page was last modified. And this tells you the exact date, year, and the time. Okay, so this is my web page. It's simple, but I like it. It's really clean, and I hope you like it. Okay, thank you, and have a good week. I'm going to stop recording now. Let's see. Goodbye.